So, today's video is on the Controversy palette by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. I only got this palette, I didn't get the mini Controversy or any of the liquid lipsticks, any of the merch. This was the only product that I was really inspired by. I have some thoughts on the palette, not all good. I'm starting off with no makeup because I wanted to try to recreate this look. A couple of compliments on it and I thought it was one of the better looks that I created with this palette. I do tend to lean towards the deeper side, so like sleep paralysis, Illuminati and spiraling. I'm going to be using more of the warmer tones today. So the palette itself is pretty colourful. It has a lot of different shades. It's really versatile, but there's a couple of things that I think it's missing. There's a couple of things that I would replace in my personal opinion. So the first thing is I think that this blue is kind of random for this palette setup. I don't think it's necessary. I actually think that if this was swapped out for a dark chocolatey brown, I think that this palette could get a lot more looks and a lot more versatility, because some of the only deep shades you have to sort of smoke out the outer corner is this maroon shade. It could look a little bit odd if you're trying to do something a little bit more neutral like with these, or you've got a black. The Teresa shade, I've seen loads of people say they absolutely love it. Personally for me, I'm never going to use it, so if I was to redo this palette, I would actually take that out. Some of the things I love about this palette, all of the mattes are really buttery and easy to blend. Shades are so stunning. I love using them for more sultry looks. This is one of my favourite more sultry looks that I did with the palette. The only other thing that I would change ever so slightly in this palette is that this yellow shade isn't as bright and pigmented as you want it to be. You have to really pack it on if you want it to be similar to this shade. And the shimmers, they're all kind of one note. I feel like they're not super metallic. Rather than having some soft shimmers and then some super bright metallics, you've just got soft shimmer across the whole palette. Because of that, I wouldn't gravitate towards this palette as much as maybe some of my others, because I like a really bold metallic shadow. Those are my first thoughts. I love the packaging. I don't even need to mention the packaging is gorgeous. I just grabbed my JD Glow Z palette just so I can show you what I mean by the metallics. If I take Ranch, Just a Theory and Diet Cola, because those are the lightest shades. I'm going to take White Gold from JD Glow. These are $6.50. It's the most shimmery, but I mean compared to this one, and I had to really build that up. I dug into the Diet Cola shade 3 times and yet this one only went into once. Of course it could definitely be the formula. These are just my personal opinions. For those of you sticking around for the eye look, I appreciate it. I'm going to use my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. So please don't take this as hate towards Shane Dawson. I think he's an amazing creator. I have no ill malice towards him whatsoever. His videos really helped me when I was abroad. I was in a completely different country and I had no one to talk to, and the biggest thing in my life had just fallen apart, and his videos made me feel like I wasn't alone. So I'm just setting my eyeshadow primer with a bit of powder. So I'm just going to use Tanacon, just a little bit. I'm being really careful with the amount I get on my brush. You don't need too much to get a lot of payoff on your brush. The only matte I seem to have a problem with is the Food Videos shade. I do love the pressing of the shadows, like the pig, the Illuminati symbol, the Tanacon symbol. There's a lot of great things about this palette. I don't think you'd be sad about this palette. I just think that there's a couple of things I would have changed. For instance, put this blue shade in the mini Controversy and give us the that green shade. I know the green shade that everyone absolutely loved is now going into like a mini Controversy 2 or something, but imagine that green swapped out for this blue. That green and this green together would be so pretty. Next I'm going to take Food Videos on a more densely packed packer brush, and I'm just going to start placing this on my tear duct. So you really have to kind of pack this on. You have to dip in a lot. That's my only problem with it. It might just be because it's a very neon shade. I mean, I don't formulate eyeshadows, I don't know. Next, I'm going to take a tightly dense brush and I'm going to take, what's it called? Cheese Dust, which is the orange shade. I'm going to be putting that deep in the middle of my crease. Just drag that a little bit onto my eye, not too far down because we're going to be putting a shimmer there. Just so we've got a gradient of colour. Just going to blend the orange into the yellow a little bit. 2/3 of my crease is covered by that orange shade. Then I'm just going to go in with no more additional product and just blend out the edges ever so slightly. I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to take Flaming Hot, which is like the bright red, the great red shade. I'm just going to pack this on my outer V and bring this ever so slightly into my crease on the last third of my lid to blend the orange and the red together. I'll go back into the Cheese Dust just to reintroduce. Just gonna take like a smudger. Really struggling with this red. I haven't even started on the second eye for the red yet. This is kind of frustrating. I don't remember this being so difficult the first time. I think that's as good as it's going to get with the red. I'm just going to go back in and blend the edges with no additional product. If I had a nice cream shade, I would use that. Then going to use the Just a Theory shade, which is kind of like a rose gold shade. And with my finger, I'm just going to pat that lightly in the centre. I mean, if you wanted, you could bring all of those shades right in. You could just leave this as a matte look. You can see the shimmer. It's just not really metallic. That's all. I'm going to take my brushes and just blend out the edges. Just pack on a little bit more just to make sure I don't blend all of that shimmer away. I'll just quickly do the rest of my face and then I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab 2 pencil brushes. This is an e.l.f. 202 and this is the Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil, and I'm going to start with the food video shade. I'm just going to replicate what I did on top. It kind of looks yellow to start off with. To get it to that kind of neon shade, you need to really like pack it. Blend this out. Look how much lighter that is to this side, or even just to the top of my eye. You really have to like pack it on. I don't really need to do that with the like orange shade. Like I said, it could just be the pigmentation. It could be whatever is in the shade that you wouldn't have in an orange or a red. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the red. I'm going to blend underneath just to make sure. I'm just going to line the top of my eye with a thin line black eyeliner. I'm using the Essence Electric Vibes in Stay Wild, which is like the bright red in my waterline. I'm just going to curl my lashes and put on some What the Fake mascara, and then I'll be right back to show you the lip. Where's that one in that piece of hair? I almost completely forgot. I think I used the Ranch for my inner corner. Finished off with just a bit of bronzer, highlighter, blush, and then I used the Juvia's Place Candace, which is more like a cool tone nude. I'm very much into like warm eyes and cool tone nudes. So all in all, I do really like this palette. There are definitely things I would change about it. I think that the imprinting is really good. I think the colour selection could be altered ever so slightly, but all in all, it's a pretty good palette. I don't have any problems with the shades except for maybe building some up, and that I would like some more metallic in the shimmers. I love the clasps and the design of the palette itself. The box is also pretty awesome. I love the looks that I create with this. To be honest, I'm not sure I've ever found a single palette where I'm like, this is perfection, there's nothing I would ever change. Like, we're all human, we all have our own opinions, and this was just mine. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm hoping it wasn't too negative. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you feel like it. Hope to see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!